Hey guys, what's up? It's Mark here, and I know I've been MIA the last few days on here on YouTube, but I apologize for that. It's like this week off from work that they gave us for like a kind of a semi-summer break, not like a full summer break where we'd get the rest of this month and all of August off until, how almost every school does. And when I lived in Michigan on Lenore, most of the years except for the year that would have been my last, but I didn't get to finish it. And I have all the time in the world, so I can go into full detail how this stuff used to work. So I don't remember, how Garfield Elementary or Newton E. Baker had their school calendar system, work from 98, 99, 99, 2000. I lived on West 122nd. I was like 4 or 5 years old at the time, and we do not go back that far. So when I got to Michigan in the Lenore house, I don't even go back that far to Daly Elementary because of how fucking toxic that was. And we thought Berger was toxic, which it was. Well, Daly was just as toxic, but that abusive teacher happened to be shitbang Zan. So, but we don't even say the conversation for another day. We just try to forget about that. I don't even think about that toxic 2001 school year. Luckily, I was not a major victim of the toxicity like I was in 08, 09, and 9, 10, but still. But I don't even remember how their school system calendar worked. But from 2002, 2003, like after Mexico, because I was homeschooled over there because of the fact that my mom actually wanted to send me and my sister to a school on there, and they wanted to take my sister, but not me. And my mom said, no, if you're not going to take both of my kids, forget it. So she homeschooled us, which kind of saved us because it gave us Garra Acción ySudor, being home all the time, Monday through Friday. It allowed us to experience like a mall that had an arcade in the back, and then out like an outdoor go-kart like in its own backyard. It had a Domino's Pizza. And then we had Bosques de las Lomas, the museum, which had a bed of nails. And at the very tippy top of the top was, in the back, a darkened dance floor where my dad took me to dance to Ricky Martin, which everything was in Spanish. So it was a Spanish-speaking country, so it made sense. And on the very first floor of the mall, the same name next door, they had a play place, a jumbo-sized play place where you could hang yourself from the monkey bars in the middle of the joint, all the way up in the ceiling. It may look high risk, but it was never high risk. They made sure it was safe for you. We had a bunch of American friends that me and my sister met that one night, and it was so fucking cool. They had an Arby's at the play place down there. They had like a little venue that had a jukebox. You can sit around, eat dinner, and talk with your friends and family, even sing and dance. They had a Ricky Martin song that I didn't know at the time, even though I had the CD with the song on it, that I didn't know it was on that same song, Por Arriba, Por Abajo. And of course, that was my first time hearing that song. I didn't know the words at the time like I did now, so I did the best I could. And then when I heard it on Vuelve, I'm like, damn, this is what we heard at the little venue. And I ended up getting tired, so I was like 7 or 8, and I was a little guy, and my dad was young and actually had a younger body and a good back, so he was able to, this was back when he used to carry me over his shoulder and hang me down his back whenever I didn't want to walk. They had horseback riding down there with motor car racing. There was another thing they had too. Oh, they had like a darkened mall that had wall climbing, rock climbing, and like an indoor go-kart track all in one go. They even had like a Burger King. It was so damn cool. They had like another mall that had a Rainforest Cafe and like a cool ass, movie theater inside of it. They had a zip hotel, a 1-story hotel with the zip lining, like lower level zip lining, even the trampoline that nearly broke my back. I mean, I'm trying to think. There's so many cool things Mexico had. And I got the Latin American release of Ricky Martin's 1999 CD, even though I had a different mindset as a kid. I didn't like the fact there was not Cup of Life in Mariande. Instead, it was I'm on my way in La Diosa del Caneva, which was Spanish eyes in Spanish. But I wouldn't care now if I got my hands on that copy again. But they had a lot of cool stuff down there, but that's beside the point. When we got back in June of 2002, I talked about Mexico so many times on my social media and in videos like this. So that's when I figured out I had autism. It was originally just like a try out the 2002-2003 school year in Shell Shiver Razor Room. I was 8 years old, went to a school for autistic people, which is how I found out I had autism. So, but then when the first year was a success, no major issues, that's when they decided to kicking me up a notch to full time by 03-04. The last year GSN was actually worth watching, the pre-2004, when they had older Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, and they still cared about older stuff and less about newer originals. Well, from 02-03 to what was the toxic season of 08-09, which I do not miss a damn thing about that season or 2009 as a whole. Because along with the fact that we had to keep going back and forth in late 2009, going to early 2010 to get everything out of Lenore and into Sandhurst for like the new Sandhurst makeover. 02-03 to 08-09, we always started school, at the beginning of September after Labor Day and ended in early June, I think early on it rotated back and forth between ending at, either, trying to remember, I know. Actually, no. I think I remember. The last race before summer break, because usually we would still be in school during, when the MBNA Platinum 400 used to go by, after a week after the Coke 600. And then the last race before summer break in Michigan, in Berger, was the Pocono 500, and then MIS. But for some reason, because we started so late in the 2009-2010 season, Labor Day was so late, they decided to make us end late, because normally in years past before that, by the time we go to MIS, it was twice a year, my dad had that kind of wealthy job, we were already out of school by then. But 2009-2010, I'm glad we moved, because, had we stayed for one more year in Lenore, I would have been stuck in school for one more week after MIS, and I did not want to do that at all. I just didn't, So therefore, we would have ended school, before, the last race before summer break would have been the Dodge Save Mart 350 at Sears Point. That's what it would have been. But we didn't get to finish the school year, because after the Samsung Radio Shack 500, which was the last NASCAR race in the house, in the state, and the neighborhood that gave me NASCAR, Michigan, Lenore, and Redford, we left. We ended up leaving and coming back to Ohio. We had to make the inside of the Sandhurst house in Brook Park, but we had to take out my grandparents' design and make, what the inside of it look brand new, to make that the phase that you might, for the OGs who are my YouTube channel before, and I uploaded videos on Lenore, but not as consistently, upload videos on Sandhurst, because I did not have a YouTube channel on Lenore. I just had accounts just to fuck around and shit, but no, I did not have a legit channel on Lenore. I started a legit channel on Sandhurst, so OGs remember my Sandhurst videos, with, my family and some of my old friends and neighbors I don't see around anymore, because I haven't gone back to visit there since 2019. I was taking my last YouTube break, and that was the last time I went was the day after my sister got married. But, I used to do, stupid, funny videos with them and, with my family, and, that's when I got some, beginner's equipment to do Let's Plays and shit, which is what I'm going to talk about. I get to the point in this video, that's where it's going to shock you. But I want to start with the basics, That was when I started playing, Need for Speed Test Drive, the old PS1 games, and doing birthday specials I took to here. And then I skyrocketed it in the content in 2017 onward. So, all you blah, 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 blah. I talked about my, But yeah, we, because we got to move so soon before the school year ended in 2010, we got a whole summer off in 2010. We got to go to Berea to take a tour, but they couldn't throw me in in the end of the 2009. Their 2009-2010 school year was getting ready to finish up anyway, and there was nowhere for me to go. So all they could do was give me a tour, and since I had autism, they put me in a class called the autism. There was the ED unit, the NH unit, the autism unit. They had all these. They added a second autism unit in, I think, 11, 12, but Yeah, but Berea was totally different. As my old teacher, Ms. Gretnick, would at one time said, how they, changed the law in Michigan from 18 to 16 when you're no longer a minor, or, they start school after Labor Day. But, in terms of laws, my old teacher, Tracy Gretnick, said, this isn't Michigan, Mark, and she wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong, because all states' laws are different, whether they're good or sucky, but I try not to get involved in topics like that. But yeah, from Berea's schedule, they always started like at the end of August and ended like at the, a few days after Memorial Day, or early June. And by then it was, Kansas in 2011 was after the Coke 600? I think Coke 600 was I know the Dover race was early. I can't remember all these NASCAR scheduling, but I know in 2012 they moved Dover back to the week after the 600 and shit. But yeah, Maria's schedule was, start at the end of August and, depending on what grade you're in, end of May, or like the week before Memorial Day, or like a week or two after, something like that. But yeah, that was, back, for those who remember my channel during the Sandhurst days of my life, that throw is back. But anyway, so, when we got here, then, we just did whatever. Then, we had a free summer off in 2015, a free summer off until we started, you remember my old Murray Ridge videos from back in the day, for OGs that remember that too, before I got TikTok. We started August 28th, 2015, it was Friday, and I think we ended, July 20-something, 28th to 29, the 31st was Julie Davis's grad party, that I do remember, and I think August 1st was when we started at Tryon, I think. Yeah, it's Sunday, 31st, when Elise died. The 30th was... the 28th. There was a Thursday. I wasn't going in Fridays at the time. Yeah, because the 29th was a Friday. The 30th was a Saturday. 31st was a Sunday, which is Julie Davis' grad party, when my friend from those Sandhurst days, Elise, died. So now I'm thinking. So I do, back when I lived on Sandhurst, I started getting, the good, beginner's equipment, which was not perfect, but it was good, and it had perfect, angle. The tripod was straightened out like Scott Pruitt. I was recording stuff, so that's what I wanted to come on here and tell you guys. So therefore, I think this fall, when it starts getting cold and everything, when we get to Adventures in Autumn, I'll still bring you all the usual Adventures in Autumn stuff. But here's the news that's going to shock you. Because of the fact that, the Spurs, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I thought, they did a good thing by, this past season now, after the part 3 of the Kelly Berglund birthday miracle, blow up the whole team with how bad they were doing. And then they ended on a tear, which is the only reason why we barely made the play. And then, last past season, and the year before, it was a reversal of fortune. We started off hot and ended terribly, but I don't think we're going to be touching the plan at all this year. And this is what I wanted to tell you. For those of you, I had to just talk with my mom in person and my grandparents, and here at the house, and I talked to my dad about it. My dad cannot on the phone, so he can't blame me for this decision one bit. It's like him and I have lost our passion for this team, considering how bad we've been the last 3 years, about to be a 4th year. So, with, DeJounte gone, Lonnie gone, I decided to tell my mom and dad, I'll still stay in the loop with the games, but forget it. I'm not going to be watching any of the games in which would have been my 26 years as a Spurs fan. I'm still going to be a fan of the team, just, always, I could go 0-82 and I'd still be a fan until the day I die. But at the same time, I'm not buying the league pass this year because, one, it helps my family save money and, to have the house payment and shit, which I'm not going to get into on the interwebs. And 2, I can actually provide you guys better content on the channel, which is exactly what I'm going to do when it starts getting cold out, I'm still going to do the Adventures in Autumn stuff. I'm still going to do that, and, if we go to Maddie Hudak's party again this fall, I am going to bring you guys that again. I will bring you the second edition of that. Later this summer, if my dad's up to it, we're probably gonna, well, if, work goes, depending if I'm still a triad or actually have switched to VireQuest like I am wanting to do now, we have Lorain County Fair Adventures to attend to, episode 3 and 4. 3 will probably be the one with work. 4 will probably be one with the family that, we recorded in 2018, but I never, got around to editing it and, uploading it, so we never got that episode, taken care of, when we saw Natalie Police and some other girl that was with her there. I can't remember, but, so therefore, there's going to be no Spurs content this season. There's going to be none. I'm going to stay in the loop, but I'm not making any videos, and, I don't want you guys to see me all miserable 82 times a year, with reaction videos where I'm not happy and I'm bitching up a storm, because this team has not given me anything to be happy about for 3 years. And, my sister was on the phone, earlier tonight, with her being able to getting ready to have her first child anytime now. She even said it herself. It's, stuff that we used to love when we were and be obsessed with when we were kids and teens are really not as good or the same or that fun anymore when you get older. NASCAR's the same way. When it was the Gen 4, the Winston Cup Series, the Busch Series, the Craftsman Truck Series, ARCA Remax Series, racing back to the caution, a full 36 race format with no chase, no cutoff, no knockout, no elimination, none of that stuff. What was another thing? When races ended under caution, if a crash happened with 2 laps to go, as annoying as that was, or, the drivers that we grew up watching that are either no longer racing or have passed away since then, we've gotten older, or your childhood team that, was always good, almost your entire life you've been around, but all of a sudden as you get older, they're not any good. Yeah, times change, stuff that you grew up watching as a kid and a teen I was obsessed with, that's not gonna be the case forever. My grandmother said it too. It's part of growing up, and you basically, when you get older, you want to balance things out and want to find better stuff to do. Especially in the summer nowadays, right now, instead of, watching NASCAR every week and wanting to be in an air conditioning house, locking ourselves in, wasting weekends away, get out of the house and actually find something good to do, and see your friends that you don't get to see all the time. Like generally, like the people and friends that I'm friends with in Ridgeville that I don't go to school with, but they treat me like I have, seeing me on the phone and the internet more than they see me in person. It'll give me a chance to do that. It'll give me a chance to see some neighbors that I only see in the summertime, or meet some new friends I never met before, or see some friends that I used to see all the time, even when I did watch NASCAR every week, but I have not seen in forever. We've done that a couple times this year. We have. So the races will be there first when we need them. Like the Coke 600, for example. We actually had time to watch that, and it's a crown jewel OG iconic race. We're always going to watch. Daytona 500 was there. Well, to be fair, that's in the winter, so when it's cold outside and you can't go out and enjoy the time with your friends and NASCAR's on, you might as well watch. That's like an exception, But when it starts getting colder again and I get to watch some of the races again, I will bring you guys that stuff. I will bring you guys race reviews on that, but right now, it's not all about that. I mean, I still want to watch Danger Force and Side Hustle. I want to knock that out, but I have to wait for the true all day, crummy, the crummiest day that, all day crummiest day that we're going to get, I don't want to miss the storyline and finish the season, but at the same time, I don't want to miss the nice weather. And tomorrow, it's going to rain all day here in Northeast Ohio. I still want to do the Villains of Valley View, Ultraviolet and Black Scorpion, and Bucked like normal. But at the same time, hopefully I can finish, if there's time tomorrow, I want to finish Danger Force and Side Hustle. That way it'll already be over. But, and I hope I can somehow, some way, even though it's going to be on Thursdays, we stay committed to That Girl Lele, considering we got to watch the whole season last year. Well, which we kind of got lucky because, it was in the middle of the cold weather months, so of course we had time to watch. But now that they're premiering season 2 in the middle of this summer, I have a feeling that we could watch all 30 minutes of it. But instead of giving a reaction right away, we just go back outside, enjoy more time, and then do the episode reaction, or do the episode react. I'll tell you what I think I might do. Now that I think about it, I'll watch the episode, every episode, but then when I go outside to enjoy some weather afterwards, I'll give my reaction videos and walk in the neighborhood. So that way, Lele herself, Gabrielle Nevaeh Green, Dave, my number one actor comedian David A. Arnold, and they're the honchos, John D. Beck, Ron Howard, even Tommy Hobson, Tiffany Daniels, Peyton Perrine the third, all these other Lele stars, Anna Grace, you know, they can all see what I do in the summertime, while I'm also supporting their show at the same time. So I'm gonna look into that. And Anna Grace, as you know, I've met her. I got to meet her over the winter at David's show, so I know she hasn't subbed to my channel yet, but I am waiting for that shit to happen. So I will tag her in this when I post it on Mark Oliveris on YT TikTok account. But anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna stay in the loop with the Spurs this 26th season, but I ain't gonna watch, and I'm just not gonna buy a league pass so I can save myself the breath and the stress and save my family money. That way we're not spending so much, we can put it into the house payment, you know. And I can also provide you guys better content. So in place of, you know, the Spurs game reviews, you know, clogging up the channel, me being miserable all the time, what I plan to bring you this fall going into winter, while we will still do the usual adventures in autumn stuff when summer finally goes away and starting in September, we're going to bring you a Richard Petty Fantasy Cup on NASCAR Thunder 2004. That's what we're going to do, because John plays games, you know, he is the one that inspired me to do this, so go check him out. Link is in the description. He did Dale Sr. on his John Plays Racing Games channel long time ago, so I figured, well, since he did Dale Sr., let's do Richard Petty. I know the recording equipment's not going to be the best, but it's the best I can do for now. So that's going to be happening, and also in place of, you know, the Spurs stuff, that clogged up the channel last year, and probably clogged it up the year before, even though we started midway through the season with how, you know, bizarre the 2020-2021 season was, how it was managed and shit. I will be bringing you guys Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy game night for the first time ever, and we're going to start off simple. We're going to start off with the PS1 versions, and I'm not talking about the second edition, because I wouldn't be in the right order. We're going to do first edition of Wheel of Fortune, PS1, and first edition of Jeopardy on PS1, so I got all the graphics ready and shit, so you're not going to want to miss it. And of course, we know you're going to see Real Life Need for Speed, you know, coming, this month, which I'll talk about in other videos throughout this month. You know, I'll be promoting it, across the whole month of rest of the July and all of August. I'll be promoting and bringing you guys episodes. And no, I will not be wearing my Spurs attire in those episodes, no matter how much y'all want me to. It wouldn't make sense, so I'm going to wear NASCAR, which is why I'm having my stepmom buy me racing flags so we can use them. Because I had a neighbor's sister buy me 2 checkered flags 2 years ago during the pandemic, during the early stages of COVID. So when we get to the end of the races, you know, we're going to wave the checkered flag, you know, lap knockout. The first 2 episodes, I think, is going to be lap knockout. Yeah, lap knockout. You know, the person in last place at the end of every race gets eliminated. So whoever's last one's any, checkered flag for you. But the police pursuits is going to be, you know, not a certain amount of laps. It's going to be whoever's the last one standing without getting caught 3 times wins. You get caught 3 times, you're not technically arrested. You're just out of the game. That's why I'm having my stepmom buy all the flags, the race flags, the green flag and the white flag, to go with the 2 checker flags I already have. So yeah, but that's a conversation we'll save for other videos. But, you know, we got Poker Game Night episode 3. You know, finally we're getting another episode of this first season of Poker Game Night out next Saturday. I don't know when the Texas Hold'em ones are going to be, or when we're going to debut Domino's Game Night with my dad's side of the family, but I'll keep you posted on that. But I'm mainly here to deliver the news, no Spurs content this coming season, because I don't want you guys to see me miserable. We're gonna have Richard Petty Fantasy Cup and NASCAR Thunder 2004, because John Plays Games did Dale Sr., so let's do Richard Petty as our follow up. We're gonna have Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy PS1 First Edition game night. So I wanted to throw that in for all of you. So I mean, those are 3 series I couldn't wait to do anymore. So now you'll be getting them when it starts getting cold. So it doesn't matter if the contestants that are people participating have a YouTube channel or not. I already have a head count for who's going to be in what episode of what game. And for the Jeopardy stuff, just keep in mind, I don't want people to get tired of coming back. I want to make it as realistic to the actual shows as possible, but not too realistic. Like, with Jeopardy, if someone wins a game, I'm not going to force them to keep coming back, try to defend their title 5 times, because if I try that, people are going to get sick of coming back. So, therefore, on the Jeopardy game nights, PS1, and the other Jeopardy game nights we're going to do, that we're going to be like Rock and Roll Jeopardy and Sports Jeopardy. We're not going to have any returning champions whatsoever. So, even if you win a game and kick someone's ass, that's it. You're done. So, no returning champions, just to make it easier. So, Wheel of Fortune Wheel of Fortune had returning champions, but not in the way Jeopardy does. Then I grew up with no returning champions on Wheel whatsoever. I saw the returning champions do it a little differently than Jeopardy on GSN, which were episodes that were older than me, that originally aired before I was born or when I was just a baby. So, pre-2004 GSN. So, I've been wanting to do Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, gameplay videos with friends for a long time. It's not just like general gameplays by myself, but with friends, where it's actually like the real show. And, the live action stuff is going to happen. It's not going to happen for a while, like as in years. We still have to get that get that kind of wealthy kind of money to get that kind of extreme equipment to make a homemade Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. And if anything, if whichever one I want to do first, I'm most likely going to do Jeopardy first, because it's easier and cheaper to make a homemade Jeopardy than it is to make a homemade Wheel of Fortune. And besides, nobody's done Jeopardy live action yet. Like, Paranomics, however you say their name. Go subscribe to the link in the description. They've done Wheel of Fortune, so I figured they don't do Jeopardy, and no one's done Jeopardy yet. Let's do it. So you'll probably see more Jeopardy game night videos than you'll see Wheel of Fortune, so don't be surprised, considering, Alex Trebek was my dude as a kid. So, and, if I see Caden again, Caden Clapham, we're probably going to promote the Jeopardy live action game night, series in a video, and a separate video, because of course, I'm going to be Alex Trebek, and he'd be Johnny Gilbert. I don't know if he'd be willing to participate in the PS1 game night series. Even if he wanted to, he probably won't be able to, because, he has school. He's still in school, and he's only going to be 15 on what would have been Trebek's 82nd birthday. And Zach Barnhart, She Love Polo, go subscribe to him, link is in the description. I figured he'd be the perfect person to be Charlie O'Donnell. Even though Alex and Charlie are gone, I'm never going to replace them. So I figured if we were to promote Wheel of Fortune, he'd be the perfect person to do it with first, since I don't have a girlfriend yet to be Vanna. And considering, I don't need a girlfriend to be Vanna for the the video game version. So I figured, Zach Barnhart, I see him again. Oh, yeah, we're still going to do the Tim Duncan kind of recreate. Me and Zach will probably do the one with Ben Wallace. And me and Davis1121, go subscribe to him, link in the description. We'll probably do the one with us and Ibaka, where Duncan got blocked in his last game, trying to dunk it one more time in his career. And, he couldn't. That was when that one is a little sad, but as long as he doesn't, as long as he didn't get injured, which he didn't, I'm going to do it. As to keep in mind, it's not just the best plays with the Spurs I'm going to try to reenact. It's also the worst plays, just as long as he didn't get injured. If it's an injured play, I'm not going to do those. And that's because that Tim Duncan kind of recreate series that came up with, that I introduced last year, was based on Cody H Gaming's NR 2003 Can I Recreate. So subscribe to him, link is in the description. So, and his rule is, if he's going to do crashes, he's not going to do a fatal crash. Like, if, someone asked him to do Dale Earnhardt Sr. Daytona 2001, or Adam Petty, Kenny Irwin, Loud New Hampshire 2000, that's an automatic no, because he doesn't do fatal crashes out of the respect of the driver that died and their, racing family of drivers that they might have in the family. The same way I won't do plays where Duncan got injured, to respect his career and, respect the impact he made for the Spurs in the city of San Antonio in the game of basketball. So no injured plays. And, I know someone asked me to do Manu's dunk, which that's a good request, but unfortunately I have to decline that one, because if you're going to request, I'm open to requests for Tim Duncan plays, but but don't request like any Manu, Tony, or any other Spur. And even if, that's fine, but I'm not going to accept them. And if you request any players from, the Snake, or like we call Nephew number 2, that's an automatic block. So I will not acknowledge any request, acknowledging him. But, I will take any Tim Duncan request, best and worst. But if you request me something like, do Tim Duncan's layup in the 2005, Spurs versus Pistons, March 20th, 2005, something like that, that's the one I'm going to say no to, because he got injured in that play 2 minutes after the game started. So, and like I said, I do not do plays best and worst where he got injured out of respect. So, no. So, I'm going to have a 3 strikes rule for that. If one user requests me to do an injured play, that's a warning. So, if you request me 3 times to one person requests me 3 times to do a play we got injured, I'm blocking you. So therefore, that is the rule. So therefore, just to keep things simple. So therefore, sorry this video went on longer than I initially wanted to, but I just wanted to deliver the news that there will be no Spurs content this coming season, until one day we'll be back to contenders again. It's just going to be another year stuck in purgatory. I'm not going to sit through that. So instead, I'm going to bring you better content. Richard Petty Fantasy Cup and NASCAR Thunder 2004. Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune Game Night on the PS1, where maybe Zach Barnhart, if we're lucky, can... I'll probably get him in some episodes where he's Charlie, he does the intro, but I have to be Charlie and Pat in the same go in the first few episodes, because he may be still in school. And Caden, I'll probably try to get Caden in some episodes as Johnny, but I'll just do Alex and Johnny in one go, because those boys are still in school, considering they're only teenagers. And, if they were lucky, we're to the point where we can have them over and other people, play the game as contestants, then maybe we'll get them. Who knows? But I know we're gonna have contestants over for sure. And whenever we have a good day to do it, but the people I want to be the MCs alongside me, that's gonna be hard. We'll be lucky to get the first time episodes. We're not gonna get them for all episodes, but it's gonna happen this fall. We just gotta come up with like a custom intro and a custom outro, and to make it exactly like the real show, because they do have the actual show's intro from season 15 of Jeopardy in the first edition, and season 16 in the second edition. On Wheel, they have like the intro to season 17 in the second edition and season 16 in the first edition. But I'm gonna replace that with an actual intro, and then I'll probably me as Alex, or Alex Pat / Charlie Johnny, all in one go will introduce the real Vanna White or something, since Sajak was funny about doing the older games, but yet Alex Trebek was fine. But depending on which of the boys are available. So on Wheel of Fortune, I'll probably have me and Zach as Pat / Charlie introduce Vanna or something after we interview the contestants and do the intro. And then on Jeopardy, we'll have me and Caden / Alex as Johnny, introduce Alex Trebek in the same way Johnny would all those years I grew up. The real Johnny would introduce the real Alex all the years I grew up. And then we just play like normal. And then we just, do a little, outro, and then do, for the Jeopardy part, we'll do it like normal. Do a little outro and then play the credits from the first edition, because it plays the whole 1997-2001 theme from start to finish. And then Jeopardy Online, King World, Columbia, TriStar Television. But the Wheel of Fortune first edition credits has the 1997-2000 theme, but it doesn't play the whole theme. So therefore, I can't put the credits of that game in there in the outro. So we're gonna have to come up with an own outro to where we can actually play a good big chunk amount of the theme, so we can throw in the Wheel of Fortune Online, King World, and Columbia TriStar Television logos. But that's all I want to come on here and talk about, and I probably talked too much about my childhood and younger years on here. But anyway, so tomorrow is the usual bunked Villains of Valley View and Ultraviolet Black Scorpion content. Possibly Danger Force and Side Hustle to knock that season out if I feel like it. I'm hoping I can finish that shit before Thursday, before we premiere season 2 of That Girl Lately. And Saturday or Sunday, I might consider doing Tim Duncan Can I Recreate this weekend, but I'm not sure which day. But I'll keep you posted on that. And I know next Saturday we're going to do that poker game night episode 3 with my dad, and then the day after that, Anna Grace Barlow's jumbo-sized birthday tribute, but depending on who's available for Tim Duncan, Kennedy Creator, Garra Acción, ySudor, Saturday or Sunday, it depends on what's going on. I mean, if you see something in a specific day, if you see something on a specific day, you know, don't say you'll know. At least I won't spring the news on you. At least you'll know in advance. But if you don't see anything and just see something unrelated to what I just said this Saturday and Sunday, you'll know why. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Life will give you a lot of lows, but when you hit a high, enjoy it. It ain't for the weak. Goddamn, be you. You have to try harder to do less. You can't deport a dream. Sometimes the worst things in life lead to the best things. Always bet on the side of love. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Sometimes you just gotta be present. It never pays to worry too much about things, and you never fail until you stop trying. So take care, everyone. Good night. And I just said the last two of that backwards, but it's better than not getting it correct at all. And I will see you all throughout the whole rest of the month for like some banger content. Poker Game Night episode 3, Anna Grace Barlow's jumbo-sized birthday tribute, and of course more birthday tributes, throughout the whole, in general, throughout this, as long as this channel lives on. And Real Life Need for Speed is coming this month. Keep that in mind. But anyway, remember, NASCAR $30 with your Petty Fantasy Cup, and Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy PS1 First Edition Game Night coming this fall. So see you later, everyone.